Going through those same lessons again. What is the message that Tommy needs to? Which also relates to life in general, because this is just not the only particular thing, right? Um, love in general. I also get when I'm still thinking about that take a big bite out of life. I really just feel like it's honestly just saying like live your life, my nigga. Like really like live your life. It's like a mini breakup. And what happens in a mini breakup? You go through those mini feelings, right? That those mini waves of sadness, those waves of anger, confusion, and then after a moment, you come to a point of acceptance, right? That's the process of a breakup, especially when it's when you're processing it yourself. I really just think it's talking about just like moving on from now for now, um, not dwelling in that, and live your life. Exactly the same questions. I'm thinking about the conversations. What were you doing before and after L? You was living your life. Take a big bite out of that, my nigga. Like, you are a catch. You're fucking beautiful, and you're worthy. You're worthy of a lot of things. You're worthy of everything. All right. Let's see. Okay, this card is called The Dark Mysteries. Yes, The Dark Mysteries. Enter the chamber of the Dark Goddess. The Dark Goddess. I've never seen this card before, although it's really fucking beautiful. I mean, shit, she looked beautiful. She looked like a fucking queen. Yeah, I've never read this card before. But when I hear enter the chamber of the Dark Goddess, it's like really entering your deepest self. Yeah, that's all I'm getting. Where's the Dark Mysteries 194? Okay. Yo, this is exactly what I just said. This is exactly what I just said. This is exactly what I said in our conversation. Okay, so the Dark Mysteries. I'll just read like important parts because it's very long, as you know. So I'll just read important parts. Also, just like reading the first sentence. Yeah, that kind of like confirms what I was thinking. Like when you hear "Enter the Chamber of the Dark Goddess," it's like you are in a point of introspection, a point of introspection, a point of like reflection, and in a sense, it's like you are working with your shadow self. Everyone has it. When you're working with your shadow self, there are a lot of tests, and that's exactly what they were talking about. It's a test. It's like going through a process of working with your shadow self. It's a point of strength. Yes, it can get ugly because you're working with your shadow self, but there's a lot of things that you learn about your shadow self. Anyway, I'll read. The Dark Goddess calls you to her inner chamber where she holds a test and a gift for you. The test is your willingness to meet and release the fears within that have been secretly holding you back. The gift is freedom, peace, opportunity, and prosperity in all its forms. Will you accept her call? Your time for deeper initiation is here. When the Dark Goddess calls you, it is a life-changing experience. It's not always easy, but the rewards for those brave enough to answer her call and enter her inner chamber are tremendous indeed. The rewards are a life lived more fearlessly, the gift of loving and being just who you are in truth, without having to express or bow to another out of fear and rejection. I'm going to read that one more time. The rewards of our life live more fearlessly, the gift of loving and being just who you are in truth, without having without having to impress or bow to another out of fear of rejection. It is a more and open, expansive way to live, and it attracts the bounty of the Dark Mother, her gifts of love, opportunity, peace, and prosperity, well-being, and wisdom. It takes a strong soul to go through this test and enter the liberation it delivers, but you are ready, dear initiate of light. Hmm. The Dark Goddess calls you to initiation when you have been working on your own shadow, bringing your whole self to light. During such times, we often need help as shadow work can be uncomfortable, painful, or just quite difficult to undertake as we are working with um, unconscious material, trying to bring it to light of our of our conscious awareness. When working with the shadow, the parts of us that we have deemed unlovable, or the parts that seem too marvelous to actually be us, requires courage. I feel like this definitely relates to you, in terms of, um, working with the things that don't serve you anymore, those things that don't work anymore, those mindsets that don't work anymore. Um, you know, I feel like that definitely relates, and I feel like that definitely relates to you in where you are in your journey, and becoming more light, if you may. What else? What else? What else? What else? Often, when we are reclaiming our power and defining ourselves what is to be powerful, we are confronted with fears of loss, failure, abandonment, and rejection. It can be painful at times, but accepting and releasing the pain brings such deep relief and happiness to the self. It is good to confront these fears with a loving and firm approach and be open to taking risks and growing anyway. hmm Now, when I hear the last sentence, I'm thinking about the teeth card in terms of like taking risks. Like I said, taking a big bite out of life. Um, not being afraid of loss. I feel like you was talking about that too. Having not necessarily having fear of the loss, but also just coming into terms with loss, and with loss with the women, which you haven't lost. You haven't you haven't lost anybody. Um, like you told me, they're not. You haven't lost. You said that you've lost. All these beautiful women. You're saying that women leave you. Women don't leave you, Damo. The women that you love don't leave you. I haven't left, right? I may be 3,000 miles, but I haven't left. Your mother, she hasn't left. She's talking to you all the time. Whenever you want to say anything to your mother, you can. Same goes for your grandmother. Yes, your grandmother is getting to that stage of transition, or those phases of transition times, but she will not leave you. Elle hasn't left either. You know, uh, although memories don't live like people do. Um, and this could also mean something else, but I'm just going by what we talked about. Um, This is what Isis, as the dark goddess, teaches us: not to be afraid and to go into the dark places and difficult things within. They may seem ugly at first, yet if we allow ourselves to go there with some conscious awareness in place, we can realize that these parts of us just need love and acceptance, and those parts that we have once revealed often blossom and turn into our greatest assets. Um, yeah. I also question, like, what are you still afraid of when it comes to love? You say that you're ready. You're ready for love. You're ready to receive love. Um, I guess, are you also ready for those ugly parts that will happen? Um, are you ready for those moments that can seem dark? Um, are you ready to release whatever you're feeling about love? Or are you ready to release, um, are you ready to release those things that don't serve you? Um, yeah, I feel like that's all I'm picking up. I also feel like I'm not making sense, but if I am, let me know. Um, but yeah, if you need more information, let me know. I'll take pictures on this book. But yeah, that's all I got. This video is 25 minutes long. I apologize. But yeah, so I love you. I love you dearly. Um, and I'll see you soon.